by the circumstances of suffering in the world. It doesn't affect your feeling of bliss, whereas I'm tending to react to circumstances. I hear things on the news,
the reason
and
it doesn't
makes me feel horrible that people are suffering.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's what you're doing with the news.
Right.
That's not what I'm doing with the news.
Right.
I see everyone standing at their leading edge. You could say, doing the best they know how to, under the circumstances, and with the mindsets and belief systems they have in place. And until something better is provided that they can lay hold of, they have no choice but to respond the way they're responding. You don't have the choice to respond in a new way until somebody provides to you an alternative, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. But why would I use my mind in a way that would cause your particular leading edge to make me miserable?
It wouldn't help me.
No, it wouldn't help you, and it wouldn't help me. I choose not to have that experience because I know there's a better experience, and you do too, and you know where it's at. You're just not making the choice for it yet. And I'm not judging you for that. I'm just being straight with you. And until you make the choice for that, you're not going to be a happy fella.
What's making me so reticent to do what I know puts me in right-mindedness? I mean, I know how to meditate, and I'm not doing it with regularity at all. And I don't know why I'm in this state of funk. You know, it's like, what's going on? What? Maybe it's not important to know why, but
well, that's
it just seems strange to me.
That's finding out why. It's you can find out why. There's an encampment about a quarter of a mile up the road here on the way home, and they're all asking that question. And it only take you 30 or 40 minutes to get there, and then you can look into that. No, it's not important to look into why you're not somewhere yet. It is a good question, and it's a question everyone else is asking too, you know. Well, Raj makes it sound so great. And I can grasp what he's saying. Why don't I take hold of it? You know, nobody was whiny enough to say it out loud like you were. But you're not unique. And the simple fact is that the reason you don't is that you're still getting a payoff. You're all still getting a payoff for looking at the world the way you're looking at it. One of the payoffs may be that you don't have to be quite as awake, and you don't have to be quite as conscious, and you don't have to be quite as diligent on behalf of what's good for you and what would be bliss-producing. If you will dally a little bit longer with your perception of things and in effect save yourself some effort, because, you know, being fully conscious must be a lot of work. To only and always be seeing reality right where everything else appears to be to me, that is going to require real concentration. It isn't possible that it's utterly natural to me. And so, hey, I'll push the snooze button a couple more times and just exist in the half awake, you know, because it's not too bad. you're getting a payoff for it. You're getting the thrill of being able to take credit for your experience that you desperately want to get out of.
It also seems to me like at the time when I did experience clarity, even though I felt a real connection with everyone, at that time I felt like maybe the way you've described a longing to bring everybody else out of the crab box, and you want everyone to join, and it's sort of I don't know. I felt a little bit alone and sort of standing out or something, and so when I don't meditate, then I become more normal, and I'm just as messed up as everybody else, I guess. And I get angry or depressed and go through all these normal human responses, and so I don't know, maybe could that be part of it too? That just the fear of
Well, you see, what you've described is your comfy blankie.
yeah.
I'll tell you something else. For every one of you, a little bit of it is a Peter Pan complex.
How do you mean?
I mean that when you're a child, you're not expected to know everything. You're not expected to be in charge of everything. You're served. You're cared for. And there comes a time, well, first of all, you're cared for. Why? Because you're helpless. Really helpless in the beginning, and as you grow up, less and less helpless. But there's a payoff for helplessness. When you get to be a man or a woman, helplessness doesn't go over too big. Why? Because there is a point at which it was time to grow up and shift roles, as it were. Instead of being the child at Christmas for whom all the presents were purchased or given, you have to shift into the adult who makes the gifts that the children receive. If you try to carry over the childlike helplessness, you're trying to be Peter Pan and never grow up and never allow yourself to move into the position of the one not only making the gift. It isn't the making of the gift, but it's the one who cares enough to make the gift. The one who cares enough to be present with another, to know what is needed so that the gift can be made that meets the need. Involvement. Involvement from the standpoint of fulfillment rather than the childlike involvement from the standpoint of need. You see what I mean? And so part of it is not wanting to grow up. Not wanting to shift into the level of conscious awareness where you allow enough involvement and enough caring to have an object of your affection, if not many objects of your affection, that you're willing to be the provider of that which meets the need. It's Peter Pan that says, Daddy Bush isn't taking good care of me. He's a very bad daddy. And I just can't feel safe with him. You see, when you grow up, you say, I don't give a damn what George Bush does. Can't affect my happiness, can't affect my peace, because I'm the one who chooses for being in my peace or not. I choose who I'm listening to, the voice for truth or the voice for fear. And I have a commitment to which voice I'm listening to, so that my relationship with it is enduring, because I know that's where real healing occurs. I know that's where real transformation occurs, and I know that's what allows for the awakening of the brotherhood who is still fascinated with dreams can occur. And so that's where I'm being from, no matter where George Bush is being from, no matter where my mother is being from, or my father, or my derelict son. You see?
I think you hit the nail on the head in a very practical way. To illustrate how right on you were, when I asked that question, I was hoping that you would say, oh, well, in spite of George Bush, there's going to be 100,000 people awakening in the next 4 years, and that's going to completely balance out, and there's going to be light beings from outer space showing up on the planet, and da-da-da. And so I was completely hoping for that kind of encouragement that would mitigate this other stuff that I see, I choose to see as oh, this is terrible,
Do all of you realize that your imaginations are just as good as his?
So, I was hoping for this sort of fantasy, mystical dream of sorts, for you to give this encouragement that, we don't have to endure another 4 years because it's balanced out by something else.
And what was the nail?
And what you're saying is, I'm the one that needs to wake up. Take responsibility and stop just playing the violin, the poor me, and maybe I could make a difference.
Oh, I didn't
and you're not just saying that to me, you're saying it to every one of
Dennis.
us. Pardon?
I did not say maybe you can make a difference. Maybe. I did not say that. It's a wonder any of you are on the way to waking up. I love you all. But you all listen that way to one degree or another, and you don't hear what's being said. You hear what you expect to hear. And you don't need to do it. That's where paying attention comes in. It's a level of alertness to what you're doing with your own mind. Not so you can nail yourself, not so you can put yourself down, but so that you can see where you're getting yourself into trouble so that you don't do it anymore. That's all. If nothing else, when you choose to listen to the voice for truth, rather than all of your own conditioned thinking, you will withdraw from all of the rest of the sleeping or sleepy brotherhood, pushing the snooze button. You will separate yourself, you will disentangle yourself from them, and the group will be fewer in number and therefore have a less apparent strength for maintaining the dream. So there's no way you can't be an agent for change when you make a conscientious commitment to listening to the voice for truth. Now the fact is that that won't be all there is to the change that your choice makes. Because when you make the choice, you're consciously joining with the brotherhood that is awake. And your choice is compounded. And you need to know that. But
That's
by damn
encouraging.
it, don't do it because of the wonderful effect it's going to have for everybody else. Make the change because it expresses your own sanity. Because it constitutes you coming into the fuller possession of your birthright and the fuller owning of your birthright, and will provide you with the clearer experience of what capital B being means, so that you might have the experience with the plant of loving and being loved, so that there is an experience of connection with the consciousness of everything, not just the form of it. You see?
You make it sound like a no-brainer. I mean, it's a choice of
Well, the
do I want to
problem
wallow
is
in
your brain.
make it
All
sound
of you.
You make it sound like a choice between, okay, I can either continue to choose to wallow in my septic tank or come out and play in the sunlight and the gentle rain and the wildflowers.
Yes?
That's the choice.
Yes. Someone said, is there a problem with that?
That's what I'm saying. It's you
I
put it in
have
such a
been
simple,
saying,
clear way, I think.
I have been saying it's simpler than you think. Yes. And you can read A Course in Miracles till you're blue in the face, and you can play with lofty intellectual ideas till you're blue in the face, and you can let yourself be impacted by the meaning of one hand clapping or other koans till you're blue in the face. But until you do the one simple thing, you're not going to find out what color your face really is.
Thank you, Raj.
You're welcome. And, I will say this to all of you as many times as I need to until it makes sense to you. Why? Because nothing else is worth saying. Everything else that could be said, you're already saying and suffering from, right? This has been a wonderful day. What needed to be known has been illuminated by me and by you. And you are going to be able to go home with a mental framework, a context in which to be curious with freshness. And I am very grateful for that.
I'm very grateful for just the transformation in my own feelings that have occurred during this conversation, that from where I started until now, I'm just feeling a feeling of hope and a feeling of responsibility in that I have the ability to respond and be on purpose.
Oh, you're responding. Don't forget this. You're always responding. There's no way for you to be uninvolved with anything that's happening. So you're always responding. The question is your response constructive or destructive?
Right.
Or does your response accomplish something or not accomplish anything?
Right.
Does your response promote further awakening, or does it contribute nothing to the process of awakening, you see?
Yes.
So we're talking about your being able to respond in a way different from the way you have been.
So you've given me just exactly what I was needing, was hope and encouragement,
Now I've
but
given
in
you
a
a
different
kick in the
way
seat
than
of the
I
pants.
was hoping for. What? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I've given you a kick in the seat of the pants.
Well, yeah,
I haven't
but
given you hope. Hope, as it says, hope abides eternal in the human breast.
Yeah, but the kick in the seat of the pants moves me forward.
Oh, you bet.
Yeah, and so it's like kicking me out of the septic system that I was dwelling in.
That's right.
And so that I'm thankful for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
That's my job. Are you sure you want to wake up? It is a joy to express the truth that displaces confusion. And that's what happens whenever any of you dare to come from the place of excellence in you, instead of just off the top of your head responding out of habit. Care enough about yourself and everyone else to not just respond with knee-jerk, conditioned responses, but to care enough to try to come from the place of excellence in you so that something actually happens. I look forward to the next time we can be together. I love you all.